A very good evening. You're watching The Right Stand with me, Kritsween Walia. Well, viewers, another round of fireworks has emerged from the national capital, which once again signals our tensions between the Delhi government and its bureaucracy. Viewers, the latest fight is taking place over the official residence of the Delhi Chief Minister. The CM has been asked to vacate the Civil Lines bungalow 2 days after she moved in. The Aam Aadmi Party has alleged that the Lieutenant Governor, working at the behest of the BJP, has violently, quote-unquote, snatched away Chief Minister Atishi's belongings. The BJP, while citing the PWD, has claimed that the Chief Minister moved in without following due procedure. Before we sound that political fight, let's take you through a brief timeline because a lot has happened in the last 1 week alone. It was on the 6th of October that the PWD penned a letter to the Special Secretary to the CM office claiming that PWD was yet to receive the keys to the house after it was taken back from the department. So essentially, PWD claims that it was supposed to be in possession of the keys, but the keys were taken by the CM and not returned for a formal allotment. Following this, on the 7th of October, the Delhi CM moved into the bungalow vacated by Arvind Kejriwal. And on the 9th, the PWD sealed the 6 Flagstaff residence while claiming that rules were flouted and an official allotment did not take place, so the bungalow couldn't be occupied as yet. So ladies and gentlemen, the war of words is at its peak, and before we try and get to the bottom of this, to unearth the truth, here are some of the allegations leveled by both sides so far.
तो अब वो चाहते हैं कि मुख्यमंत्री तो बन नहीं पाए, किसी तरह से मुख्यमंत्री आवास पर ही कब्जा कर लें। उनका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है।
भारतीय जनता पार्टी जो कह रही है वो कोई ना मानेंगे। जो हमने देखा है, आपने कभी देखा हो कि मनीष सिसोदिया जी के AB 17 पे ताला लगा हो, 2 दिन लगा हो? क्योंकि 2 दिन ताला इसलिए लगा है क्योंकि हैंडिंग ओवर टेकिंग ओवर में 2 दिन लगता है और वो लिस्ट ऑफ इन्वेंट्री बन रही है। कभी आपने सुना है? कभी आपने देखा है?
जब कानून अपना काम करता है, अरविंद केजरीवाल और आम आदमी पार्टी झूठे आरोप लगाना शुरू करती है।
केजरीवाल की इस पूरे प्रकरण की जांच होनी चाहिए कि किस प्रकार पूर्व मुख्यमंत्री ने वर्तमान मुख्यमंत्री को अवैध रूप से कब्जा करवाया।
And joining us on the broadcast, our national spokesperson of the BJP, Pradeep Bhandari, along with spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, Anmol Pawar. My first question is to Mr. Anmol. Given that these are very serious allegations being levelled by the Aam Aadmi Party that the Chief Minister has been asked to vacate her official residence, tell us your version before we go across to the BJP. BJP is saying due process procedure has not been followed, norms have been flouted, hence the Chief Minister has been kindly asked to vacate the house.
Ms. Walia, I disagree with your version that she has been asked to vacate the house. I think it is for the first time.
That's not my version. That's the BJP's version. We'll get to that, but yes, go ahead.
It's for the first time in a country's history that a female chief minister has been removed from the official residence by the Lieutenant Governor on the instructions of Bharatiya Janata Party. The residence has been sealed and her belongings have been thrown out. And this reflects BJP's anti-women mindset. And the fact that they are spreading falsehood claiming that keys were not handed over to the PWD. In reality, we have a letter which clearly outlines the seamless transfer of keys from the former Chief Minister, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, to the PWD and then to Ms. Atishi ji. Additionally, there's an NOC confirming that there were no outstanding dues, following which keys were officially handed over to Atishi ji. And I'll show you this letter of the GAD. If you could zoom it out, you'll see that there's a letter which states that this transfer of keys has been done through proper channel following due process of law.
Do you have a letter from the PWD, sir?
We have a letter from Delhi government, and if you want, I can read out specifically what has been written in it.
You know, the PWD minister is an AAP Neta. So I really don't understand where this is coming from. These are allegations being levelled by PWD officers that due process hasn't been followed, that on the 6th, and I can also flash another letter for you, Mr. Anmol, very clearly says, and I quote, "It is brought to your attention that the keys of the house at 6 Flagstaff Road handed over to PWD were taken back after some time, are yet to be handed over to PWD to complete the process of handing over even after the brief visit at the house today afternoon, which is the 6th of this month." How do you explain this?
You raised a very pertinent point, which I think the people of Delhi must know. The PWD department, which is under Chief Minister Atishi ji, despite that, PWD officials have locked and sealed Chief Minister's residence because these officials are being controlled like puppets by the Lieutenant Governor, by a person who cannot win even a councillor's election in Delhi. He is disrespecting the mandate of an elected government, of a chief minister.
Unfortunately, Mr. Anmol, that's going to go beyond the scope of this debate. What I can stick to is the version that's coming from the PWD, the version that's coming from the BJP, and the version that's coming from the Aam Aadmi Party. Actually speaking, this is only to do with what the PWD and the Aam Aadmi Party are saying. PWD itself in this letter, and I just spoke of an excerpt from the letter saying we were given the keys were taken back in no time, and there is a process that needs to be followed, and everybody knows this. This is not just for the Chief Minister's bungalow. You know, my father was an armed forces officer. Any house that you'd move to, you will have to officially hand it over. A proper check is carried out by the officials concerned. Whatever furniture is part of that house, all of that is duly noted, is then when the house is finally allotted to the next party. So it goes across government bungalows.
Ms. Walia, after resignation of two senior leaders, Mr. Manish Sisodia and Satyendra Jain, their official residences were re-allotted to the present cabinet minister. And during the transition, no issues were raised by the PWD and no inventory checks were conducted. How would BJP respond to that? But now the Lieutenant Governor is playing petty politics over this. And I
but
also
you agree inventory checks were not carried out at this bungalow?
It has been carried out. Let me read out this letter which says that, and it is dated 8/10/2024. It says that the Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal vacated the residence on 4th around 11 a.m. The keys were handed over to the section officer available at the camp office, and thereafter it has been handed over to the present Chief Minister, Ms. Atishi ji.
Okay, so GAD letter is what you're referring to, and you're talking about how it confirms no dues pending from Arvind Kejriwal. Pradeep, would you want to quickly respond? I've put a series of questions to him and he's given out answers. What would you say?
Well, allow me to first respond to the political statement made by him, and then I will come to the fact. He was speaking about, Bharatiya Janata Party being anti-women. The Aam Aadmi Party should be the last party to speak about it, who has ensured that in that 40 crore sheesh mahal, their own Rajya Sabha MP was assaulted and beaten, and the Chief Minister looked the other side, and the Chief Minister is now appointing the same person as the advisor to the Chief Minister of Punjab. So they are an anti-women party. Point number one, I'll tell you what is the issue. The issue is that they are trying to manufacture a sympathy because after Haryana, they've become a deposit zapt party because not a single women had voted for them, and in Haryana, out of 88 seats where they contested, 87 they've lost deposits, and in Mr. Arvind Kejriwal's own household, he's not even be able to get 1,000 votes, not even 1,000 votes, so they are frustrated. Now let's come to basic facts. Who's the custodian of the property? It's the PWD. Does the PWD come under the central government? No, the PWD comes under the Aam Aadmi Party government. Now let us read the letter further. The Aam Aadmi Party's government's PWD officer says that the keys were taken back after some time, and there has to be a detailed stock of inventory inspection which needs to be done. Now I'll tell you what is the issue with this 40 crore sheesh mahal. Because there is a pending inquiry here. There is a CBC inquiry which is pending, which is, if you remember, an inquiry committee was constituted by the LG which had to take stock whether the entire construction was legal or not. Because during the time of COVID, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal diverted public money in order to create his own sheesh mahal worth 40 crores, where 33 crores was spent only and only on his own personal spend. So that is the issue, because they know that if the investigation will happen of the inventories, the entire corruption files of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal will come out. Please tell us where the BJP is a party to it. Is the BJP, no, I just want to ask him, how is the BJP a party to it? The LG has said through sources that the required bungalow will be allocated to the current Chief Minister. But it is the issue that inventory check has to happen because there is a pending inquiry at the 40 crore sheesh mahal.
But they're alleging that it's the Lieutenant Governor acting at the behest of the Bharatiya Janata Party who is trying to manipulate all of these officers. So bureaucracy versus Delhi government is what they're trying to allege.
That is their traditional charge. That is what they said in Haryana. The people are not able to buy the fact that Mr. Arvind Kejriwal is honest, but people are understanding that Mr. Arvind Kejriwal is cuttar brush. Please tell us that what will happen if the PWD officials enter that 40 crore sheesh mahal and do an inspection check. Is it for the first time that a bungalow is being allocated from an Aam Aadmi Party from a current functionary to another functionary? It has happened everywhere. The Aam Aadmi Party wants to manufacture a sympathy current for Delhi Chief Minister, ex-Delhi Chief Minister Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, which they are not seeing on the ground. Please tell us where the BJP is a party to it. PWD comes under the Aam Aadmi Party government. The officers come under the Aam Aadmi Party government. If they believe that the officer is taking charge from the LG, they should prove it on the fact.
Okay.
Where is the fact? Which officer is alleged? Please tell us.
All right. What we'll do is we'll quickly take in a word from Arun Bhatia, former bureaucrat, also joining us on the broadcast. Sir, you've not had a chance perhaps to listen to both the gentlemen. They've put out their own set of arguments. You know, you have the BJP saying that this is a PWD letter which states very, very clearly that there was an inspection that was supposed to be carried out, due process had to be followed. And since that's not the case, we've had to ask the Chief Minister to vacate the bungalow. But the Aam Aadmi Party, on the contrary, citing a GAD letter which confirms no due spending from Arvind Kejriwal, and hence they say that due process was indeed followed. Tell us a little bit about the process, the procedure that needs to be followed here, because once again the allegation coming in from the Aam Aadmi Party is it's the Lieutenant Governor acting at the behest of the Bharatiya Janata Party to take on the AAP.
Actually, I don't know much about this case, but I feel that too much importance is being given to a minor procedural matter. Normally, the property or the house is handed back to the department and they do a check of the installations, air conditioners, geysers and stuff like that. So actually, we shouldn't be wasting too much time talking about this. It's more important to talk about the corruption of these Aam Aadmi Party leaders, what they've done.
Interestingly, Arun Bhatia ji, there is an investigation that's going on as far as those alleged irregularities are concerned around the Chief Minister's bungalow, which is also a reason which has been cited by the PWD officials, because Department of Vigilance, CBI, all of them carrying out their own probe. So that's where it gets a little bit fishy. The BJP says the AAP is trying to hide something.
You know, that's also very far-fetched because these people have been under the scanner for a long time. And it's unlikely that all the incriminating files are lying on the dining table for somebody to come and have a look at them. They must have disposed of these files, hidden these files, given them to the gardener to go and hide somewhere. It's not waiting there for somebody to come in and have a look. I think it's a storm in a teacup. It doesn't deserve that much attention. And there's nothing concrete that's come out that, yes, those papers were there. There was a safe over there that was broken open. It's nothing like that.
Okay, I want to go across to Mr. Anmol, but before that, Mr. Arun Bhatia, normally these procedures, how much time do they take? Can it be done overnight or within a day or two? Because, you know, when it comes to government bungalows or chief ministers, official residence, it has to take a certain amount of time to be able to get done with the inspections that are to be carried out and then formally handed over to the incumbent CM.
No, I don't think it takes much time, not even half a day.
Okay. Okay, great. That puts things in perspective. Anmol, how would you respond to what the BJP is saying? Are you trying to hide something? What was the hurry? The Chief Minister could have waited, given that BJP is saying the Lieutenant Governor was absolutely okay in handing over this particular bungalow to the new Chief Minister, to Atishi.
Ms. Walia, I think their logic falls flat on their face. They said that the procedure was not followed and the inventory checks were not done. I would like to ask them that the Chief Minister, would the Chief Minister order PWD department, which comes under her, to go and seal her residence, to throw her belongings and to seal the camp office as well? Have you heard it in the history any time? And as far as Mr. Bhatia, and the second point they raised were, in fact, Mr. Bhatia, I must appreciate Mr. Bhatia, he's a very good storyteller. I mean, the way he narrated this fiction just minutes back, they said that there had been corruption and we have heard of this. Ms. Walia, numerous investigation, countless raids and hundreds of cases have been filed against us in the past, yet nothing has come out of it. Every time we have come out clean, and you can continue with your investigation and file as many cases as you want. 100 करो, 200 करो, 500 करो, 1000 करो, 2000 करो, हमें अपनी ईमानदारी पे भरोसा है.
So
you
no,
can
let's bring it down to basic logic, because you know what's happening, Anmol and Pradeep, what's happening is that it's becoming very confusing for the people of the national capital and for political parties concerned. It's turning out to be a case of mystery. So let's try and decode this once again, bring it to logic. Are you telling me, Anmol, that the Chief Minister's office, Arvind Kejriwal, had duly handed over the keys to the PWD, and the PWD itself allotted the house to Atishi, following proper procedure and protocol, and itself gave the keys to Atishi, but are now claiming that we did not allot it? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm showing you this letter. If you want me, I can send it to you right now, and you can display it so that your viewers can also see.
But if the PWD's involvement is necessary, if the PWD nod is necessary, how do you think this has happened?
Why didn't it happen during the time when Mr. Sisodia and Mr. Satyendra Jain resigned? At that time also the procedure might have been followed, but did it require 10 days, 15
So this
days,
may have
20
been
days?
a possibility. It may have been possible that Arvind Kejriwal, given that this GAD letter that you're talking about, handed over the keys directly to Atishi. Is that what you're saying? That very much is a possibility?
No. I have already read out the contents of the letter, which says that the keys were handed over to the PWD officer. Thereafter, PWD officer handed over the keys to Ms. Atishi ji. And it's on record.
Okay, so the PWD willingly handed over the keys to Atishi, but are claiming otherwise in the letter. What is your allegation?
The Aam Aadmi Party is the biggest liar. They are the kattar jhooti party. Please let us look at facts.
We cannot compete with your leader, Mr. Bhandari.
Point number one. अरे भैया हरियाणा में भी आपने बोला था ईमानदारी और भ्रष्टाचार के बीच में हरियाणा की जनता ने बोल दिया
अरे भैया
फैक्ट्स को सुनो.
जेल में क्यों बंद किया? अगर इतनी
Now,
हिम्मत थी तो बाहर
you were asking me a question. Who is the custodian of the property? Isn't it PWD? The custodian of the property is PWD. This is the PWD letter. And what does the PWD letter say? It said that the keys were taken back after some time and are yet to be handed over to PWD to complete the process of handing over, even after the brief visit at the house today afternoon. This is what it says. It further says that it is therefore necessary on the part of the PWD to undertake an inspection and a detailed stock of inventories inside the house prior to making fresh allotment of the house. So the PWD agrees that it will make a fresh allotment of the house. Why is the Aam Aadmi Party getting so desperate that it cannot leave its 40 crore sheeshmel even for 24 hours? This was the same party that used to say that we'll live in a 1 BHK apartment, we'll live in Jhuggi Chopdi, we'll not take a sarkari bungalow, we'll not take a sarkari gaadi, we'll not take VVIP culture. Today, for 24 hours, they can't give the bungalow to TWD for inspection.
They're also alleging that there is perhaps a conspiracy to ensure that Atishi doesn't get this bungalow.
By the Aam Aadmi Party company itself, the PWD comes under the BJP, or does it come under Mr. Arvind Kejriwal? It comes under Mr. Arvind Kejriwal.
The fear is Atishi may not get this bungalow if the PWD keeps it for a while, which I don't think is a problem, because
the agreement on the panel is that the Aam Aadmi Party is not focused on delivering for the people of Delhi. They are focusing on getting that 40 crore sheeshmel. That is the focus. The people of Delhi are seeing it.
Anmol, respond.
These BJP people are getting so desperate because they have been out of power since last 27 years. They are facing political exile, and that is why they want to capture the CM residence. And as far as
that's a valid question. If the PWD wanted charge of the bungalow for 24 hours, what is the harm in that? Anmol ji.
हम जो है सड़कों पे भी काम करने को तैयार हैं.
आप हमें क्यों चले गए?
घर से
No, if he saying सड़क पे काम करने के लिए तैयार है तो करो सड़क पे काम.
भाई सुनो तो
में क्यों बैठना चाह रहे हो? This is all PR stunt, Mr. Kejriwal है सर.
परेशान मत हो भाई साहब.
अरे भैया हमें कोई परेशान नहीं होना. 2024 में भी आप सब सीट आ रहे हैं. हरियाणा में भी आपकी सब सीटों पे जमानत जब्त हुई. अनमोल जी, 88 में 87 में जमानत जब्त हुई. अनमोल जी, अरविंद केजरीवाल जी हाउस रेजिडेंस में you could not get 1000 votes.
डेसिमेट कर दिया. 3 बार
दिल्ली में डेसिमेट कर दिया, पंजाब में कर दिया. आप अपने घर में वोट नहीं ला पाए. Please answer me, why can't you leave the 40 crore sheeshmel to PWD, which comes under Delhi government?
Okay, gentlemen, let's cut the clutter. Let's cut the clutter. I want to go back to Mr. Bhatia once again. Anmol, I'm coming back to you. I need to bring in the gentleman as well. Okay, 10 seconds and I need to go to him. 10 seconds, not more.
भंडारी साहब, आप हमें घर से निकाल सकते हो. हम सड़कों पे काम करने को
अरे
तैयार
करो
हैं.
ना सड़क पे काम. हमें नहीं चाहिए आपका 40 करोड़ का शीशमेल.
Anmol ji, as a matter of fact,
हमें नहीं चाहिए. हम नहीं आ रहे वहाँ
Atishi has been chosen as the
27
Chief
साल
Minister,
से
if
जो
she's taken
बनवास
over as
काट
the
रहे
Chief
हो ना,
Minister, she
political
will be given a
कितना
government bungalow.
desperation है, हे भगवान।
She will be given a government bungalow. The civil lines bungalow in question or not, she will be given a bungalow. But Arun Bhatia ji, I have a more relevant question to really cut the chase. Even if what the Aam Aadmi Party is saying that this is a conspiracy to ensure that this bungalow doesn't come to Atishi, that shouldn't be a problem, right? Because traditionally speaking, the former Chief Minister Sheila Dikshit ji was not living in this bungalow, and this bungalow, if I'm not wrong, can be allotted to any other government functionary, isn't it?
There are two types of bungalows. One is in the general pool, it can be allotted to any official. The other is an assigned bungalow. That means that bungalow will only go to an officer holding that particular position. So in this case, I think it's an assigned house. So it would normally have come to the successor Chief Minister. And I would like to also mention here that it's not a big deal, this so-called inventory checking. In the districts, I've often handed over, as a collector, I've often handed over the keys of the house to my successor over a cup of tea. And the PWD comes much later because nobody's running away with the beds and the fans and the light fixtures. They come and check it out later.
Yes.
Okay, so let the people of National Capital
more.
not
10
feel.
second point, please.
One thing more, madam.
Yes, sir.
We're
running out of time quickly.
Question, just one short thing. This question about the house has nothing to do with the innocence of the Aam Aadmi Party. We are all disappointed, disillusioned with this party of honest men fighting for the Lokpal, and a whole bunch of them.
Okay,
being
point
accused.
noted. Point noted, Mr. Bhatia. 5 seconds, I need to
My
wrap up.
simple question is that the Aam Aadmi Party, which claimed of zero VVIP culture, why is it fixated on
भाई
that
साहब,
40
आप
crore
हमें लोगों
sheet
के
when it
दिलों
is
से
not going
बाहर
to
नहीं
any
निकाल
BJP
सकते
leader?
और
It
आप
will go
सत्ता
to
में
Ms.
नहीं आ
Atishi.
सकते.
My question is, what
People
will happen if
reject your
PWD
politics
does an
of
inspection
hatred
check
and
for
oppression.
24 hours?
The political
People
fight
will
can
never
continue.
I'm asking a
on,
basic
Pradeep.
question.
The political
People
fight
will
can
never
What is the
continue. The
process?
people of the national
And
capital
that is
must
why
not
you're
be fooled.
getting
That's my only point here. Well, let's see how it plays out and whether or not the Aam Aadmi Party is able to prove the allegations against the Lieutenant Governor in this case. We are into a very short break. With that, on the other side, a very important debate lined up. Keep watching.